For me, I don't think there is any sin graver than betrayal of trust. The situation we find ourselves is simply a clueless, everlasting, incompetent bunch of arrogant braggarts who, Felix, I beg you. You call that criminal and all manner of things. I didn't speak, I beg you. You spoke for 15 minutes. Don't interrupt.
I haven't said anything.
No. You are interjecting me. Don't do that. You spoke for 15 minutes.
Go ahead.
A clueless, everlasting, incompetent bunch of arrogant braggarts who have simply scammed their way into government. That's all. And that is why you see the people speaking. I mean, he's right. This is not the first tax or levy the people of this country are paying. We are already paying, and we keep paying, and they will add more, we'll pay. But the reason why the people will speak up against this is because you came to tell them A, and you are doing B. You've betrayed their trust. The fiduciary relationship that the NDC built with the people of this country while they were in opposition, the big talk, the plenty grammar, all the blabbing they did, knowing the gravity of the issues at hand. And they said they have solutions. And they were emphatic. He said, we will solve this without burdening you with additional tax. In fact, the finance minister in his budget, I think paid 264 or so, the 2025 budget, actually mentioned ESLA and all the reviews, but it went ahead to indicate that they are not going to add anything. The finance minister is caught on tape at his vetting when he was asked that all these plenty things you are saying your government will do. When you come to office, you are at the same time saying you remove this tax, you remove this tax, you remove this tax. How are you going to do these things? He said, in this country, I have studied the economy of this country for a very long time, and I do not need to add new revenue handles to be able to deal with the issue.
He said you do not necessarily.
Yes. That's what he said.
That's a caveat.
No, but the context is important. The context was specifically, you are removing all these taxes. You are making all these promises. How are you going to deal with the gap? He said, don't worry. I have studied this for a very long time. I would emphasize on compliance to make up for the money. He even went on to talk about all these tax refunds, which he said that if he deals with the tax refunds by reducing it from 6% to 4%, the amount of money he will make is far more than all the taxes he's removing. That is the reason why the people are talking. And when we talk, you tell us to shut up. And you are taking us to history and giving us historical background about how debt came about. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why? We go to bed on Tuesday. We go to sleep on Tuesday. Wake up Wednesday morning with a 4.50 pesos on every gallon of petrol we buy in this country. And you are telling us we should keep quiet because I am MPP, because I squeeze banana into my vehicle? Why do you think the MPP lost the elections by the margin with which we lost? It is because you told the people that you won't do this to them. If the people knew you were going to remove Levy, remove non-existent, what I mean non-existent, I mean nobody paid, emission tax, and ask for claps and applause, and bring them 4.50 pesos per gallon 2 months later, you think they'll be clapping for you? You went to squeeze the hands of GPRTU and force them to reduce transport fares by 15%, telling them about how you have brought the cedi you up and brought dollar up, for which reason fuel prices have come down and so they should remove it, knowing very well that you have already prepared your memorandum for a 4.50 pesos on a gallon of fuel. That is dishonesty. That is leadership of insincerity. If the GPRTU knew there was a 4.50 pesos per gallon coming, Samson, they would not have agreed to the 15%. At best, they would have dealt with another percentage, maybe lower than 15%. Today, as we speak, an Uber driver who is using a Gov't car is paying close to 42 cedis every day to government for free. And you are saying we shouldn't talk about it? And then you come and tell us that, oh no, we have reduced burden. We have given you gold on the street of Ghana, and so now we can afford to slap all manner of levy on you. And then they keep lying. Oh, when we when we came to power, fuel prices were 17 cedis. That's a complete falsehood. As a matter of fact, when we are speaking to these things, let's speak to facts. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo handed over to power to the NDC with fuel at 14 cedis 99 pesos. That is the fact. On 7 January, I have it here. This is Gov't. Star Oil is here.
What?
Is here.
What fuel?
Is here. It's here. See there, you can read it. Thursday, 2nd January 2025.
See there, read the whole thing. What is
Super XP 14.99.
Yeah,
Diesel XP 15.60. Super XP 95. The 15.60.
What is the price now?
But what's the price of Super XP?
Now.
What's the price of Super XP now? Tell me. Is it 17 cedis? Was it 17 cedis?
No, what is the price now?
No, hold on. You see, and again, Phyllis, stop interjecting me. Write your notes like I did, and I'll speak to it. The fact is that you have been peddling falsehood. Even this morning, you've done it. Nobody was buying fuel at 17 cedis.
Nobody ever bought fuel at 17 cedis under the MPP. Is that what you are saying?
Some said, are you going to allow this?
So context is important.
Yeah. No, but nobody bought fuel at 17 cedis at the time
nobody bought fuel at 17 cedis under the MPP.
He's qualified. He's qualified
so then,
at the time they handed over power.
So where is the lie?
But
didn't you ever buy fuel at 17 cedis?
Thank you. Hold on. Yes, Dennis.
See, we cannot allow the people we pay with our taxes to mislead the public. The fact is that you took over power with fuel at 14 cedis, not 17 cedis. That is fact.
I didn't say we took over.
Can I just speak and you make your notes?
But you are putting words into my mouth.
Can I just speak and you make your notes?
All right.
When you get the chance, you see now you've taken close to about 2 minutes of my time.
No,
it's true. I've done 6 minutes.
It hasn't taken 2 minutes.
It's wrong. Don't do that. Because I could do that to you.
I have never.
So you see, you never took. So what NDC have actually done is that today I look at Gov't and Star Oil. And I realized that Gov't is selling Super XP at 12 cedis 52 pesos. It was 14 cedis 99 pesos. In actual sense, it's 2 cedis and about some pesos that the NDC have brought forward down. That is the truth. That is the truth. But the whole week they've been peddling that falsehood of 17 cedis and they brought it to 12 cedis. That is false. And I think it's important to situate it in that context. Number 2, you don't come and tell us that because in your view, you have reduced burdens on us, you can decide to wake up in the middle of the night without consulting us and slap any taxes you want on us and we should keep quiet. That will not happen. As we speak today, between January and now, cement prices have gone up by about 45 cedis. 45 Ghana cedis, Samson. That is the burden you have reduced. Tomatoes, which you did politics with, which was costing about 2 for 10 cedis, is today costing 1 for 10 cedis. Texpo markets, Malata markets right here. That is the burden you have reduced. Iron rods are skyrocketing. That is the burden you have reduced. And when you ask them to show evidence of the impact of the appreciation of the dollar, do you know what they do? They point you to the glamour stores on Spintex, East Legon, Cantonment, and Laboni. And they show you banners of these shops who are selling sofas for $60,000 and $70,000, who have reduced their prices and tell you that that is Ghanaian burden reduced. You and I know in this country something. Everybody watching us know. And this is a very serious matter. We're not going to allow this government to basically gaslight us and get away with it. You know that in this country, what truly affects prices of the day-to-day Ghanaian is fuel.
Correct.
That is the truth.
It affects everything.
So we were all happy. Was I not here when I even applauded this government and I said that I am not one of the people who would say that any other person is responsible for the dollar appreciation other than the government. You are there. It's like being in a football match, whether you coach the team right or not, when they win, it's your win. So they should take that credit. But of what use is it for you to appreciate a cedi to dollar by some 3-4 cedis and then increase the fuel prices at a time when we're going to enjoy the benefits? Because the only reason why transport fares were reduced was because fuel prices have gone down.
Right.
So today, if you come and add 1 cedi to transport fares, GPRT have already signaled that they are going to go back. And you know how GPRT operates. Whenever they come down 1, they go back 2 or 3 steps forward.
But do you understand them? Why are they not saying we will also revert to the price rather than say we are going on strike?
I mean, they do that all the time. This is not the first time. They've even done the strike before. It's not like a threat. They've done, even 2024, they did it. So we'll discuss that. But the fact of the matter is that the reality is what we are confronted, not the grammar. The reality is that you told the people when you come, you won't do this. Today you are doing that. That is what we need to deal with.
But do you think that's the real reason why you lost as massively as you did? Because you said the reason why do you think we lost the election the way we did? It was because you promised them that you will not bring taxes.
Yes, economy pockets.
But people also remember that you promised that Yetisika so accommodate.
And we couldn't deliver.
And that you were going to make gains from corruption.
And we couldn't deliver. Stay there. That is why the people said, you said you will do it. So we'll vote for you. That is the reason why the Ghanaian people voted for you. Otherwise, why else do you think they queued to vote for you? You went to tell them that the things the MPP said they would do for you, they couldn't do for you. Vote for us. Now let's come to this whole energy thing. Let's put it on record. Something you and I know, and that is also fact. The MPP did not criminally, like he put it, manage the energy sector for us to come into this debt. As a matter of fact, if you are going to describe what has brought the energy debt as criminal, then you are the criminals. Because you and I know that three things make up our energy sector debt. The excess capacity, which is about $500 million thereabout every year, which you signed, and you heard him say that the NDP, you signed 32 of it, 32. Something you signed 32 of it. That is fact. Now the fact is that you go and sign contracts with people and tell them to generate power. The country is going to be able to afford to, maybe, is going to be able to use 4,000 megawatts. You go and sign contract of 5,000. I'm making a point. So there's an excess of 1,000. That excess of 1,000, your agreement with them is that whether you use it or you don't use it, you will pay. Now, Council, Bentel, and myself, we only pay for power that we have used. That's 1,000 excess capacity that you took from them. It didn't come to us. So we don't pay for it. What it means is that every day, that excess capacity bill is on governments.
We voted for you. You said you were going to change.
I agree.
For 8 years.
Hold on. No, I'm not. I haven't complained.
Okay.
I am only making a point that you have no business. It is a complete insult on the Ghanaian people for you to come and sit on TV and call the energy sector debt criminally managed when you signed the baby.
He gave over a dozen reasons.
Hold on, I'm coming to all of them. Number two, the second reason for our debt, and there is none more than these three. The second reason is the point that Council Bentel made, and he himself made it. When ECG itself goes to lift the, let's say the 4,000, before the 4,000 gets to our homes, 500 is lost through technical losses because the cables are weak, this is not there, you understand? 500, the technical aspect, 500. So we don't even receive the entire 4,000 for us to use and even pay. Now, after we have also used the 3,500, ECG should come and collect the money from us. They are collecting 3,000. So that one to 500 is lost. These are the reasons why we have these challenges in the energy sector. Correct. That is fact.
Correct.
Nothing else. There is no other thing. Now look at each of these three things. Which of them makes MPP criminal and doesn't make you worse of a criminal?
When we had a handle or an avenue by which we were seeking to make up for this, you came in, you took it off. You said you don't pay anymore. Meanwhile, you were not paying.
Let me also deal with this matter. So you see, between 2013 and 2016, when the energy crisis peaked, the NDC decided to increase the generation capacity, which is one of the best things we've seen in recent years. But in doing that, they overdid it. And that brought us the first handle of the debt burden, the excess capacity. Then they introduced ESLA, which was going to be revenue source to deal with some of this debt. Now, some say, listen to this and listen to this carefully. ESLA is online. There is ESLA PLC with all the reports there. There is ESLA report on Ministry of Finance website. In fact, as recent as April 2025, the Finance Minister, Ato Forsen, Honorable, presented a report on ESLA. The MPP never did what it is that you are trying to impugn on us. When we took office, the energy crisis was so dire that in 2019, if you recall, the World Bank came to do an assessment and said that if we don't deal with the energy sector debt in a certain way, by 2025, our debt was going to grow to $12.5 billion. World Bank report is there. As part of that, the government had to put in place mechanisms to arrest some of the legacy debt. In fact, at that time, if we had not intervened, ESLA had just been introduced. It had not accumulated yet. And the IPPs were crying for their money. You are expecting ESLA to accumulate and you pay them. They cannot wait. So all government did was to float this ESLA, generate the money now, and pay the IPPs so we can have our power on. There is this thing that the BDOCs actually released along the line, and I'll read it to you. It's on your website. Government settles 1 billion legacy debt. The Ghana Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors says it has received from government 1 billion being full and final payment of legacy debt owed the bulk oil distributing companies from 2012 to 2020. This is ESLA money.
This was when?
This is ESLA money. This was ESLA money.
This was when?
Somewhere 2020 thereabout. Okay. This is ESLA money that was going into it. Now the ESLA report between 2017 and 2023 is online. This is what the ESLA report says. 70% of ESLA money was used to settle energy sector debts. 20% went into infrastructure, which includes transmission upgrades, distribution improvement and maintenance, and other infrastructure. So you see, let nobody, and these reports are public, we can all read.
Okay.
Let nobody ever make that point that, the government misused ESLA and all of that. In any case, the total amount of ESLA revenue raised between that period up to 2023 is about 35 billion cedis. How much is our debt? 35 billion cedis. How much is our debt? Now the point I'm making is that we are complaining about the 4 cedi 50 pesos on a gallon because this government comes on air to create an impression as if they are introducing a levy to come and deal with the energy sector debt. But guess what? This is the point. And this is the point they make, but they make it quietly and subtly. This levy is not going to pay any of the energy sector debts. All it's going to do is to buy fuel now to power our generators.
That's what Jinapo says, but the president.
That's what the president also said.
President Mahama appears to correct that and says it will do both.
No, he didn't. He said that it will be buying fuel until a period where they are expecting a certain gas inflow, and that when that gas inflow comes in, then it will shift.
All right.
What if? Hold on, that's conditional. What if it doesn't come in? Okay. But as I conclude, something. My point here is that you are government. You have been voted into office. You promised to reduce our burden. You said that you don't need to introduce excessive taxes to be able to do anything. You knew this issue. Your finance minister was ranking member on finance. He understands the issues. You introduced all this energy sector debt. You know the structure and everything. Deal with it. Your energy minister sat on TV and told the whole country that we should vote for the NDC and that in 100 days, he is going to plug and cut the losses of the ECG.
Thank you, Dennis.
And make sure that they become profitable.
Thank you.
Then you turn around and come and tell us that we should pay you 4 cedi 50 pesos for every gallon before you give us power.
Thank you.
That is why we are complaining.
Thank you, Dennis. In some